The Herdmans were the worst children in the whole history of the world. They lied, stole, and smoked cigars, even the girls. They hit little kids and talked dirty, and cussed at their teacher and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down tool house. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Emogene, Claude, Leroy, Gladys, and Ollie. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean, and they went around town in the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, and whamming kids. It was so hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Spit our prayers, because there are no herdmans there. And Jesus loves us all, they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. He said, no herdmans, and that made the Sunday school teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But not old Charlie. He told the real truth. No herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. I mean, that's what they really thought. All the other stuff is okay. The main good thing about church is that the Herdmans aren't there ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one? Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you.
Gladys isn't big, but she's mean, she's fast, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong that you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
But everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the Christmas pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel horrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Actually, I didn't plan on going.
But Bob!
You know how crowded it always is. They could use my seat. I'll just stay home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just got that out.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time. Just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
Well, from what I've heard in the past, that's not a very serious drawback. The way in the danger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in an angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Let's go watch TV.
You know, kids, Mrs. Armstrong tries very hard to make this a lovely experience for everyone.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
She's right, you know. Mrs. Armstrong directs the Christmas pageant, she's in charge of the potluck, and she's chairman of the bazaar. I think that she'd preach the sermon if someone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital then, because that's where she is.
What do you mean?
I ran into George down at the drugstore. He said that she fell down this morning, broke her leg. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up to the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She is in charge of Christmas?
Well, she directs the pageant, and she's in charge of the potluck. I'm sorry to hear about Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
I'll do the bazaar, and you'll take over the potluck supper. But I don't know what in the world we're going to do about the Christmas pageant. Unless...
What about Grace? I just can't, Edna. I've got company coming all Christmas week. What about Grace?
How about Grace? Hello? Grace?
Bob?
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully, because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
Yes, Helen, I know that.
And I tell them there is no small parts, just small actors.
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace, because they'll be your biggest problem.
I'll keep that in mind, Helen.
You'll have to get someone to put the baby angels on, otherwise they get in each other's way and bend their wings.
Okay.
Bob could do that, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds too. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir, don't let them wear lipstick.
Someone's at my door, Helen.
They
I
think
gotta go.
because it's a play,
Someone's at my
that they
door.
have to wear lipstick. It looks terrible.
I'll talk to you later, Helen. I'm coming.
Lady, can you feed me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, you're all so hungry.
Well, Helen's lonely in the hospital.
Well, not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you, no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and making the shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of problems, and there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
No.
Because it isn't in there.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right, that's what it was.
You don't leave around here to steal my dessert every day. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all dessert, all I want at Sunday school.
Oh yeah, what kind of desserts?
All kinds. Chocolate cake, candy, bars, cookies, Twinkies, big wheels. We get all the refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
Ice cream, cupcakes, donuts.
Who gives it to you?
A minister?
Why, is he crazy?
No. I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's a play. Like on TV? What's it about? It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part. All right, everyone, if you'll just settle down and find a seat, then this won't take very long. Today we're going to decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant, but of course everyone will have an important part to play. Doesn't Mrs. Armstrong always tell you there are no small parts, only small actors? Isn't that what she always says?
That's what she always said, but she never said what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir or else no one can see them.
Not exactly. It actually means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary. I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Actually, Alice, that's what you think. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, would you step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Okay, all of you who will be in the angel choir, please remember that you're going to need bed sheets, so please remind your mothers. And if any of you have back robes at home, what's the matter? Well, let's make some room for the Herdmans. Okay. What happened to Beverly?
Oh, I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
No, all it was, I just said, hi, Beverly, and she just left.
All right, well, someone will have to tell Beverly about our rehearsals. They'll be the next 4 Wednesdays after school, and I expect you to be at every one.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Now, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be at every one.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we haven't even started.
I'd like you all to think about Mary. We all know what type of person Mary was. She was kind and sweet and gentle, and the person who plays that role should try to be that type of person. Now, who would like to volunteer to be Mary? Yes, Imogen, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. Ralph over here wants to be Joseph.
That's right.
Okay, well, let me just make a list of everyone who wants to play these roles, and then we'll all decide who they will be. Ralph, Herdman. So Ralph has volunteered to be our Joseph. Any other volunteers? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Okay, any volunteers, just raise your hand. Any of you shepherds? All right. Well, Ralph will be our Joseph. Now, Imogen has volunteered to be Mary. Anyone else would like to volunteer to be Mary? Janet? Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
The wise men are usually boys.
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Come on, do you want me to ride and raise your hand?
What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. Yes, Dana?
My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. Now, what's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus has been born.
And hits them.
Now, Elmer, that's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear more about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls, but I expect you to be here Wednesday, 6:30. Alice, what's wrong? Why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
Mrs. Brown, get
Volunteer! Don't you want to be there?
Come on, Alice. I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogen would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this play, and if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it, and it'll sprout there and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear. You know she wouldn't do that. She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant, and it's all your mother's fault.
Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant? Well, they ought to be in jail.
Is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where was Reverend Hopkins? I'd like to know. Is what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in. What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away, tell them to go home? Oh, I feel responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
Well, if I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm with you, Grace. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant, and I made up my mind to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. They're the only ones who raised their hands, and I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean?
You have to go. So the end will be over here off stage, and the shepherds will come in and gather.
Where all the shepherds come from anyways?
What's an inn? It's like a motel where people go to spend the night. What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
Pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogen, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this pageant is all about, so I guess I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that. They never heard of the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they never went to church in their whole life till your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
And there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant? You mean she was pregnant?
All right, we all know that Mary was pregnant, and it came to pass.
It's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
No way! They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, they didn't know the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them we're pregnant and everything?
What's the manger in some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever they had. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Ollie in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Ollie, so you had to use something else?
Oh, we had a bed. Only Gladys was still there. She didn't like Ollie. Remember how you didn't like Ollie?
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for the animals.
What were the watered up clothes?
The what?
It's in there. She wrapped them up in watered up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. They used to wrap babies very tightly in large pieces of material to help them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
There wasn't any child welfare.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel.
Gladys, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The mighty Marvel, animated comics, out of the black night, with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds in the fields.
Out of nowhere, right? Out of the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare of the wise men?
No, they were kings, and they were sent by...
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. They can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was like the main king, and he wanted to find baby Jesus and have him put to death.
No way! He just got born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill a baby and he's not even in the play?
Well, somebody ought to be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod, and he says, go give me that baby. And they do, because he's the king and all.
But then they don't do it. Then they go back and get Herod.
I'm not gonna be Herod!
Nobody's going to be Herod.
No. Joseph gets his shepherds together. And they go wipe out Herod.
See? If you're voting, it's gonna be me! I'll get killed! Forget about Herod! There is no Herod! And I run away with the baby till the fight's over!
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you go wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't!
I'm an angel.
The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby. But the baby quit the pageant anyways. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogen Herdman get her hands on him. And that upset my mother. My mother even tried to get a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogen curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal, too. If you shake the birthday bank,
it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go into the baby's room, the whole air is blue. And Imogen Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote it all down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess. All right, girls, take your seats. We're going to get started. Now, today is our last rehearsal.
I just wanted to let you know that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
Well, it's supposed to be.
Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby about a month ago, a little girl? Yeah, she's 5 weeks old now.
What do you think if I called your niece to see if maybe we could borrow her?
Grace, no! I could make up some excuse and tell you the baby's sick or cranky or something, but the truth is she's perfectly beautiful and healthy and happy, and we all want her to stay that way, so we're certainly not going to hand her over to Imogen Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can use my little brother for Jesus.
Oh, Dana, I didn't know you had a new baby.
He's not really, he's 4 years old, but he's double jointed, he could probably scratch up.
Well, I'm not sure that will work. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? Is that what all of you are going to wear?
I can't find my halo. My wings are bent. Janet's got my robe.
I haven't gotten a costume. I've never been a shepherd before.
Just wear your father's bathrobe.
I don't have a bathrobe.
What is he here in the house in?
His underwear.
All right. Let's just pretend we're wearing costumes.
Are we going for the whole thing?
Yes, of course. We're going to start with the entrances. So all of you go where you begin, and we'll start with the shepherds. Everyone's in place. Maxine, why don't you start with just the last few words?
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
While shepherds watch their
Wonderful.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them and...
Shazam!
No.
Out of the black night, with the mighty marvel.
No less. Continue, Maxine.
A multitude of the heavenly host.
Music, angels.
Lord,
Stop. Music, wise men.
we three kings of Orient are.
Excellent.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. In the name of Jesus.
No, no, no! Mary doesn't say anything! Mary and Joseph don't say anything! They just sit here and make a lovely picture for us to look at while we think about Christmas and what it means. Now put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me to name the baby. I want to name him Bill.
What a terrible thing to say!
What angel is that? There's angels all over the place. Is that Gladys?
No, Gladys just goes to the shepherds and tells them that Jesus has been born.
Yeah, unto you a child was born.
That's me, not that me. I'm the one who had the baby.
No, no, no. That means that Jesus belongs to everyone. Unto all of us a child is born.
Why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus?
Yes, I know what the angel said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Wow. He never would have got out of the first grade if he had to write all that.
Should I start over? 5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes, everyone.
We never did start over, and we never did run through that whole thing. That 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogen Herdman spent the whole time in the bathroom smoking cigars. And when Mrs. McCarthy went into the ladies' room and saw all the the smoke, she called the fire department, and they were here right away. They cleared everybody out of the building and dragged the fire hose through the church looking for a fire to put out. But the only fire they found was in the kitchen, where all the applesauce cake had burned up. The ladies were mad, and my mother was mad, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department over a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You must have been overreacting. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wendelkin's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the telephone all afternoon, and I can't make heads or tails for it. Some say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelkin says all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in an uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me." But I don't think he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
I'll bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. It makes a good excuse.
And I'll bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
Well, everyone just thinks it's going to be,
A disaster? Well, it's not. It's going to be the best Christmas pageant that we've ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anyone's going to come and see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jam-packed. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Just wait till I get the lights. Now, just watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what on earth you plan on doing with this thing.
I thought it looked like a palm tree. I can see now that it doesn't. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. We've never once made it through the whole play, and the Herdmans still think it's some sort of spy story. This may be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight, and Mary runs off with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids on the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I meant our kids.
We're here. Oh, Mom, it's just going to be awful, you know. All the kids look like trick-or-treaters, all dirty and fastened with safety pins, wearing their old moldy sneakers. They look like refugees or something.
Well, they were. Mary and Joseph, in a way they were refugees. They were a long way from home. They didn't have any place to stay, didn't know anybody. They were probably hungry and cold and tired and messy.
I'm not sure about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh, do you think I
I think you were good. Now, I'm going to push the baby angels on stage. I'm going to give the shepherds their crooks and push them on stage. When do I do all this?
should? Here, just follow the script.
Okay. Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. It doesn't seem to say anywhere in here where the fire engines come in.
Oh, Paul. All right, kids, come on out. I want to see everyone on stage. Come on. All right, I just want to see how you all look. Oh, Gladys, where's your halo?
Oh, my cat buried in my backyard. Listen, I think I ought to say something other than the baby was born. I think I ought to tell him it's Jesus, and I think I ought to tell him he's in the barn.
No. You just tell them, unto you a child has been born, and that's all you tell them. All right. If everyone's okay, I'll have you all go backstage and wait quietly while everyone comes in. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Yes! Oh dear, Alice, I know that, but I don't think under the circumstances, for those
bounces. All right, you can head on backstage. Oh, and Imogen, try to remember that this is a baby, and for tonight at least, it's baby Jesus.
A decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Very nice to birth the baby Jesus as if he had colic.
Well, he could have had colic just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful, and they look awful.
So what? They just came a long way, and they have a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogen?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region there were shepherds in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid. When the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said,
Hey! 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 Unto you a child is born. It's Jesus. He's born. Go see him. Come on. He's over there.
And suddenly there was a multitude of heavenly hosts, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men. Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
It's a ham.
A ham? I'll bet they stole it.
No, I think it's a ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? Then they must hate ham.
Even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Oh, Irma, wasn't that wonderful? Could you believe that was Imogene Herdman and the rest of them? Irma, that was the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I'm not sure why, but I think it was them. Could that be?
Oh, I always get weepy after the Christmas pageant. It must be the children and the carols and... But you're right, you know. This was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord sure was different.
That's right. You know, he had lots of spirit. Sometimes we can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
I just wish I had let them use Eugene as baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened in just that way. We all thought the Christmas pageant was about Jesus, but that was only one part of it. It's about a new mother and father who are in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it turned out to be a whole new story. Imogen birthing the baby, and the wise men bringing such sensible presents. After all, you can't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, go see him, he's in the barn, so that the shepherds didn't have to roam around the whole countryside. For Imogen, it was a whole new story. Afterwards, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink any cocoa, or they didn't take any cookies. They wouldn't even take their candy canes.
I guess that's about it. Any children left down in the basement?
No, everyone's gone. Did you realize you're wearing your bathrobe? You're not going to keep that on, are you?
Well, why not? People might think that I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. Some lady, after the play was done, came up and hugged me, just because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
Well, it's the Herdmans' ham from their welfare basket, but they wouldn't take it back. Leroy said, it's a present, and you don't take back a present.
They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendell came.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They'll turn off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.